best could be. I haven't seen my Super Nintendo since 2003. That's alright, I don't mind. I've got a Switch in the old switcheroo. My friend Mike and J-Mo too.
Gotta get 'em all because it's time for the old switcheroo where we're talking gaming retro with Mike and JMO.
I'm Mike.
And I'm JMO. We're the often imitated, never emulated retro gaming talk show diving deep into the Nintendo Switch Online Nintendo Classics catalog. If you like what you hear, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, play along. Today we have something truly special for our listeners, Mike. Do you want to meet the very best? Like no one ever was?
Seems like a real test.
It's our cause, baby. Please welcome to the show singer and songwriter and performer of the original Pokemon theme song, voice of a generation, Jason Paige. How are you this morning, Jason?
What's up, guys? How are you? Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank
Good
you
to
for
be here.
being here. This is an honor. We're here to get the inside scoop on one of your most exciting upcoming projects, Ultra Dolphin Revolution's upcoming limited release, Jason Paige, Voice of a Generation, playable on a variety of retro gaming devices.
That's
got something-
correct. Super psyched for this, dude. Check
Oh
that
my,
out.
look at that beauty.
There it
Oh
is.
my
There it is. There it is.
gosh.
This is the prototype. This is not the one that's coming out. There's a few things changed on it. But that's pretty much what it is. I mean, you get it, you feel it, you instantly connect to this piece of plastic with this technology that is almost embarrassingly archaic inside of there. But there's something so magical about, it's almost like a line drawings. It's like the flip book.
Yeah.
That you made when you were in the third grade. It's actually not even that sophisticated. You could get the artwork a lot better in your flip book than you could in this. You could see what was going on the flip book, but this you're like, what am I looking at? So your brain makes all these connections and uses your imagination to embellish the simple. And it's so important for us to have this to have our brains activated like this, and that's what's really going on inside of this. Your brain is activated, your imagination is activated, and your heart gets activated. Pretty cool.
You know, for our listeners, he is holding up the prototype of the Jason Paige Voice of a Generation game pack, and I got chills. I'm not even kidding. When you did that, I'm a vinyl records guy. I really feel like there's something.
You see him up there?
I see him, and there's something timeless and special. And so when you held up these game packs, which look very familiar to anyone who grew up with retro gaming devices, it just hit me like kind of emotionally.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It is a similar thing to the vinyl situation.
Yeah.
While you're listening to the album, except the album's technology and sonic preparation is way more advanced than the visual technology is on this thing. So the album requires your imagination to do less than this requires. So you have like even a less of a connection. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's relative to what we connect to the most, what connects us emotionally to things. But there's a tactile, there's the auditory, and there is music on here. So you hear the Pokemon Go song, you hear Viridian City, and you hear Pokemon and some other music that goes throughout, but in that 8-bit style. So you're, that certainly is very triggering as well.
100%.
Pretty cool. And there's more colors in this too. So
yeah, and that's
why you got to get them all.
Gotta get them
all.
There it is.
Red and blue and yellow, just what you have to start with.
I got a green.
Ooh. Yeah, but only put that one out in Japan.
Yeah. This is only Japan. We're not giving this one out to anybody in this country. No.
That's so awesome.
But what's cool about them, they also have the different artwork on the front that represent the different artwork that has been on some of my cards.
Yeah. So tell us about that. You have a series of trading cards, some of which are so rare that I'm told your manager Ryan had to buy for you recently because he ran into it at a random comic shop. So
Yes,
tell us about tell us about these
yesterday,
Jason Paige
actually,
trading
I
cards.
sold one of the last ones on my website, and I realized I have to take it down because this card right here, the Poke Snack card, which is a really OG. It's got that old vibe. It's got the the OG thing. This thing was on my website by mistake, and I had to thumb through a binder to find one to send to the customer because they picked that out. Yeah, I have been creating my own custom cards since 2020 when I saw somebody put their face on a Pokemon card online. It was a digital version. It wasn't even a real card. So I uploaded my face to that card, and then that became my first card. And honestly, I don't even have a copy of it here
This is the one
with
from
me.
Etsy, right?
Yes, my Etsy card. But I do have my second and third, the gold and silver version of this one, which is the 25th anniversary one.
Ooh, look at
Um,
that. Ooh.
and our official Leaf card, when Leaf made a photo, took a photo that we sent them, and and check this out, the copyright weirdness, because there's a Funko Pop and the Pokemon logos inside of a Leaf trading card. You know, Leaf, when they do their cards,
Yeah.
like logos on baseball players' hats are removed because they don't want to have any copyright or trademarking thing. And there they are, just putting out Pokemon and Funko Pop right there on the Jason Paige Double 10 lead card.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, and then I've had other brands make cards of me that are official brands, like this company called D Spirits. They make a game, and because it's an official game, the card and the autograph can be graded.
Yeah.
And D Spirits actually has this card as a playable card in the game. And they're going on I think their third or fourth Kickstarter now. And another game called Nostalgics made a card of me. So I'm starting to become in other people's games as cards, but this is the first game as an actual walking around player, except for the first game that was made by Jeremy, where he threw me in his first trial game back in the day, which is so cool.
Yeah, the Smash Brothers clone,
So yeah, the
Power
Smash
Fest.
Brothers thing. So cool. I walk into this Comic-Con, and he was like, "Yo, I want to show you something." I was like, expecting to see somebody. I made something for you. People make these like caricature like drawings of me, and I look kind of weird all the time. And it was like me running around on the TV screen. They were playing. He was like, "Here, play." It was totally myself. Very,
So
very cool. Very
you're
cool.
referring to meeting Jeremy Ayersman, the developer at Ultra Dolphin Revolution.
That's correct.
Yeah. And
That's correct.
so he showed off this prototype because he's I mean we've all been a fan of you. Like, in North America, Pokemon debuted as a TV show a few weeks before the game. So to so many, you are literally the first impression that
Yeah,
Pokemon made on all of us.
the tip of the spear.
The tip of the spear, and what a spear it's been.
Yes, yes,
Um, and so, I mean, I think there's an academic argument for that being the greatest theme song of all time. It's truly timeless. But then also, you've been working your way into my ears for years with your jingles, with your the Eat Fresh and the Pepto Freakin' Bismol chant, and just really a lot of real like kind of micro genius moments.
yes,
And you had mentioned that your music is making its way into this new game. Uh,
yes, yes.
so
When Pokemon Go came out, I was trapped in a Pokeball for 18 years. If you watch the video I made for my Detective Pikachu unofficial theme song, there's a scene in the beginning where I'm talking to Pikachu. Like, you got all the credit. I didn't get anything for 18 years. Nobody knew who I was at all. Nobody cared. All they wanted was you, Pikachu, you. It's just really dramatic scene. But Pokemon Go basically was the coming of age of the Pokemon generation when they started seeing each other in the streets, realizing how many of them there were. Then media sort of jumped on that story because it was incredible. I don't think anybody knew that technology and the coming of age and Pokemon would form this incredible social phenomenon of tens of thousands of people gathering on the streets to play this game together and talk and share knowledge and history and nostalgia and feelings and joy and like it was and business because Pokestops were everywhere and they were running across highways to catch these things. It's crazy. There was even a Russian company that was selling insurance for Pokemon Go players that were getting hurt from running into the street playing Pokemon Go or falling in holes and stuff. So I started getting contacted by people at that time to do interviews and to come to events. Before that, I had absolutely no experience. Oh no, I never sung the song before. I had never signed an autograph for it before. I had no awareness that there was an ecosystem that I could be creating for. So the first thing I did was I got to write a song for Pokemon Go. I'm a songwriter. I'm a lyricist. I'm a producer. I'm a performer. Pokemon Go doesn't have a song. Let's get a song for that. I wrote the song. I did the video. I started performing it at events and creating music for the Pokemon community, not just music for all these other brands that I work for. And that music, of course, is now going to be immortalized and in the retroactive versions that are on here, which is really cool. Not retroactive, but in the retro versions, the 8-bit versions.
Chiptune.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah, that's how my music sort of the Pokemon music. So I've got a Pokemon Go theme song. I've got a Detective Pikachu unofficial theme song. It was actually contacted by the movie company that was producing that movie to do some things for the movie. And that what I did officially didn't get in, but I used it anyway because it was a great experience and a great opportunity to provide value for the community. And that's really the theme that has dominated my life for the past 10 years in such a great way is that there is this amazing community of people that I can create for, that I can provide value for in an amplified way, not just a song I write, but it's a song that exemplifies the end of Ash and Pikachu and Last Goodbye and helps people in the community have this connection with this thing that is no longer going to be part of the ecosystem. That song has an amazing video. And then but one of the first things I did, which is behind you right now, as you can see those people screaming, that is a Video Games Live concert that I performed at, where I was a surprise guest performer to these people who pretty much didn't know. This was right in the beginning of my popping out of the Pokeball. They didn't know that I was going to be there, and they hadn't really made the connection, a lot of them, that there was a guy who sang the song. They just hadn't been introduced to them to think about it. So at the end of this show, Tommy Tallarico brings me out to sing the song, and you can hear them on the Video Games Live YouTube videos going, "What? No way! No way! You mean? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, what? Oh my god! I can't believe it!" They're like freaking out about this because it's not just a guy singing a song. It's like it's a different thing. It's a generator of joy and nostalgic connection for, depending on how invested you are in the Pokemon ecosystem, could be, it's triggering. Music is triggering all that stuff, just like the video games are.
Well, and your voice is so perfect for Pokemon content. You just have this eternally youthful, powerful sound that's totally fitting for a franchise about a 10-year-old who never ages somehow. Um, but like you come out and you crush it, and you crush it every time. Like it's just as powerful. I'm getting goosebumps right now, literally goosebumps. Just think about the way you perform, and I love how much you love real world connection. You love
Yeah.
performing concerts. You love fan conventions. You mentioned Pokemon Go because, like Mike, you're someone who lapsed from Pokemon, but you got brought in via Go, and Mike, you made connections with people,
I
right,
mean,
via that game?
honestly, I remember going out before I had a phone that could play it, but my brother did, and it was weird to be like I was walking around looking like I could help, like I would spot something, and then a car would drive by and yell that there was a rare Pokemon down a street. It was a really weird time.
Yeah. But
Beautiful
so
time. Beautiful time.
yeah, and there's something truly special about like we're so on screens, and I guess we're on a screen right now, so bad example.
Yeah.
But just so what's your favorite thing about meeting a fan like Jeremy Erzman who's making this game for you?
Well, it's the creativity that I'm experiencing, and not just the fans, but the whole ecosystem is filled with people who are expressing themselves creatively out of the love that they have.
Yeah.
They're not there to make money first. They're there because they had something that dominated their childhood that they loved, and now they're putting their own unique skill onto it to create value in the world, and they do it so completely because they love it. They're not forced into it at these most of these shows and conventions, mostly card shows, because they're dominated by Pokemon card shows. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Everybody's cool. There's nobody there working. Some Comic Cons, somebody has a booth that they don't really care about. They're hired by somebody and they don't want to be there. But that's not the case in most of the Pokemon events. Everybody wants to be there. Everybody's happy. Somehow, in a card, in a convention hall with 900 card vendors, everybody's happy. Everybody has something that they can give to each other and find from somebody else that's there, and it's all just cards. There's so much variety, and to satisfy the unique interest of each human being. So it's a place for people to have unique individual creative expression, and
Yeah.
that's my favorite thing,
Well,
and that's what I'm doing.
and
I'm expressing myself uniquely, and so are you on this podcast. It's perfect.
I love your fans. If you're a Jason Page fan, I mean, who isn't? But if you're specifically a Jason Page fan, welcome to the show, and please bring your positivity to every corner of this world because you scroll through the comments on a Jason Page YouTube video, and it's like, oh, are we gonna be okay as a society? It's such humanity and positivity in your songs, in your fan community, and everything I see you do.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
perfect segue into your upcoming game, soon to be released here. According to Ultra Dolphin Revolution's press release, play as Jason Page as he travels across the land, searching far and wide for the legendary JP trading cards. Encounter references to many of Jason Page's previous works, such as Rick and Morty and Elite Beat Agents, one of my favorite games of all time. Oh my gosh. Stop a scalper from taking all the trading cards for themselves and find a nice jelly-filled donut. This game will be released as a special physical game cartridge on a variety of retro gaming consoles. Gotta get them all. So, in speaking with your developer yesterday, very excited to learn that this game is, in addition to celebrating your career, very much a tribute to your sense of humor. It's a comedy game. If you're not watching on YouTube, JP is shoving cartridges into his hat and somehow looking even cooler than before. Tell me a little bit about kind of the Jason Page lore and kind of funniness we're going to encounter in this game.
Well, you're definitely going to feel like you're playing the OG game.
Yeah.
Um, because it is designed with all of those elements involved. The moving around, you can't go any faster, and you want to go faster and you can't go faster. You come up against the little jukebox or the different items, and you're like, is that a jukebox? I'm not really sure what that is. It looks like it is, but then the things pop up and the words pop up, and then you enter in, and then you find the cars, and then there's I think there's even this thing is in there, but this big you can't see what's going on. When it's this big, you just have your mind has to fill in all the blanks
Yeah, yeah.
um, for what's going on. So it's really cool. I mean, I didn't play. Oh, where is it? I've got a Game Boy. I put it away. I've got a Game Boy Color that I found in the last place I lived. It was in the garage, and somebody had left it there. It's a sealed Game Boy Color. Um, and I didn't open it. So I did my own personal Game Boy that I own has never been played, but somebody gave me a mod retro, which is a newer version of from what I understand, exactly the same as the Game Boy. It feels the same, it plays the same, it looks the same. And that was my first experience with playing besides somebody showing up at my booth and handing me one to try something, to try out the game. That was my first experience of like really going through the Pokemon game and playing it. So I recognize how primitive it was, and how connected I was to this thing, and how wonderfully accurate this thing is. I mean, I wouldn't know personally if this wasn't the actual game,
Yeah.
because it's so accurate. It's so, it's so just inspiring, because your mind has to do all the work. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
the hit of nostalgia, but the thrill of something new is a very potent mix. And in 1,000 years, when everything is dust, like robots are gonna find this and be like, "Oh, there was a Jason Page, game released clearly in the '90s."
yeah.
So
So initially we thought, people bring me these to sign. They bring me their old Pokemon cartridges to sign, and I have kept them in stock and sold them at my booth as well, with autographs on them. So when we saw these, we thought initially they would be great things to be autographed, and didn't even really think that there could actually be a game on there that we could produce,
yeah,
that would connect people even more and give them value when they catch all the cards, and at the end of the game get to redeem the code that shows up at the end of the game for an autograph.
yeah,
On what is going to be included in the packaging is another Jason Page card. So that brand new Jason Page card that can only be acquired by buying the game, which is also signed. So
yes.
you get the card signed by completing the game, which is really cool. And there's also 9 colors, so if you really wanted to get them all, you could get them all.
So
That's the most retro part of any of this is if you beat the game, you get something.
Yeah,
Because we
yeah.
we've seen that in games that did that in like the 90s, but I can't think of anything that's done that more recently.
yeah, we
Yeah.
covered a game called Spanky's Quest. I don't know if you remember that one, Jason, but a little monkey who bounces a ball on his head. And if you took a Polaroid of the final screen and mailed it into the company, they sent you a T-shirt.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
like little contest. But so let's talk
That's
about
similar.
yeah. So let's talk about the collectible aspect of this, because you guys are doing something that I've never even heard of before. Mike, get a load of this. So Jason's going to sign every box, right? And
Yep, yep,
then they're going to seal it so
yep.
that it has value both as an autographed personalized copy, but can be graded in terms of quality, at collectibles. And then and inside, if they do decide to open it, there is an exclusive brand new Jason Page card, because the premise of the game is that you're trying to travel the land and go to a bunch of kitschy, kind of funny locations, and engage in different fetch quests and dialogue trees. There's a 2D mini game inspired by a tribute game that was made to you. There's some luck-based games inspired by the franchise that you've had such a big part in. And then at the end, like you said, there's a special code where now they're going to approach you at a collecticon, or any convention, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Uh, and then you're gonna your signature, your autograph is the ultimate trophy.
Yeah, the autograph will be on that card that comes with it, which also has the color variations as well. Yeah, it's a really interesting thing because people bring me items to sign, but we were like, well, why don't we just package the autograph inside of it already? We had a prior product called a mystery pop that was a Funko Pop that was signed inside of a mystery box,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
people buy that, and then the autograph is already inside of it. So, and some people don't ever open that up either. So it's in there, but but
Now,
it doesn't need to be open.
if they approach you with this special card they can only get by buying the game, but they don't have proof they beat the game,
Right.
are you not
I
gonna
can't sign it. I
you're
can't
not gonna
sign it.
sign it?
Yeah, I can't sign it because there got to be an incentive for them to play the game first of all, and we don't want more of them signed just for money. We want them signed for, you know,
Wow.
the joy of playing through the game. And that actually increases the value of it because then only the people that play the game will be able to have the valuable card now.
Did
So
you
instead of like collecting a card, you actually have to you are part of what makes the card valuable,
Wow. I
which is
that
really
might
cool.
it's never been done. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are like
But five things that never been done before, all going on at the same time.
classic Jason
Um,
Paige. There you go.
That's it. And you know what? This happens when we do projects. We think of these great ideas and then we do them and we're like, people are like, what? I don't understand. What do you mean? A Funko Pop in a box? How in a box, in a box, in a box? It's never been done before, but once we do it, it catches on. I tend to do a lot of things that have never been done before.
Yeah.
That is my pattern, I have to say.
Disruptor. And because Mike, you're a big collectible person. Like you enjoy kind of products you can hold in your hand, right?
To an
I
extent. The
mean,
the danger is then you end up with too much, and I don't have room for things.
Always room for Jason Page merch. Um, yeah, so I want to talk to about this product being full of loving tributes and really fun little Easter eggs. You might even discover things if you put this game pack into unconventional retro gaming devices. But then there's also a bunch of little fun things to discover and tributes to like your, contribution to the Rick and Morty show. And
yeah.
is there, without spoiling the fun completely, can you give our listeners a little tease of something they should look out for when they're playing Jason Page, voice of a generation?
Well, there's characters that are in my life
Yeah.
that are in the game. So
Am I in the
they
game?
might be listening right now. They might be on this stream, but that's kind of the fun part because it's not just the things I've done here, but it's the people that I work with that are also showing up
Yeah. Yeah.
in the game.
People want to
Um,
show
and,
up for
and
you.
yeah, I mean, but you've got to find them in there. They don't just automatically show up. You've got to engage with them, which is
Yeah.
a really cool element. It's history. It's a game that's another, first, not just a game somebody created, but a game based on personal history, which is also really cool. It's like a mini documentary going on inside of there.
And I gotta ask, just because you're literally a rock star. Come on. So you're gonna be signing these cards if they beat the game. But what's the strangest thing you've ever signed for a fan? Or what you can say on the air?
Well, I mean, I have signed quite a few body parts. Not any
Keep it classy. Keep it classy.
not any illegal body parts. Well, maybe some slightly illegal body parts. Depends. Another couple inches, it would have been an illegal body part. But I have been asked to sign cars, which is not that unusual. But one car in particular was a Camaro, a really souped up Camaro. It wasn't a Pokemon car. Like I've signed cars that are like, Pokemon wraps.
Yeah.
And I'm signing the Pokemon car, and that kind of makes sense. But this dude just wanted me to sign his Camaro on the inside armrest of the driver's side. And so he walked me and his whole posse of friends out to his car. It was parked on the top floor of of an outdoor parking lot in the Netherlands, and I signed the arm inside of so while he's driving, I'm right there. Pretty
You're
cool,
always
pretty
you're
cool.
always right there, and I
Yeah.
think that's just there's just something so enduring about the music you've created. Whether it's the timeless theme song or a little jingle that just gets into our ears and our hearts, and I just think it just shows just the love that you bring to everything you do, the fans, this game, your concerts. It's almost like love is the
Thank you, sir.
frequency,
Thank
right?
you. Love is a frequency.
There
That's
it
right.
is.
Right there. My one of my releases, one of my newer releases.
So is there anything else you wanted to touch on about this game, for your
Um,
fans or for our listeners?
it's not. It's going to be the Super Game Boy as well. So it's not just on this one. It's going to have elements of that as well.
Yeah, we
So
were kind of teasing that a little bit.
that's a little tease, and eventually somebody's gonna show up with their amazing creativity and have a big standing arcade version of it.
Oh my gosh. And they're just gonna wheel it around the convention.
Wheeling around the convention it's like I mean, I have these giant banners that I bring around with me, and this one as well. It'd be kind of funny if I could bring around an actual retro game that's encased in thing. Obviously, you've been to these conventions and they have those retro games, and inside of the screen you can play just about any game on it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So at some point, giant LED panels will be able to change into any retro game you want.
Look
So
at
yeah,
you.
just the creativity of people will take this and make it into something else as well.
Yeah. It's gonna be modded in some way, and that's just this just creation begets creation, you know?
Yeah,
So love that so much.
yeah.
Mike, anything else before we wrap this up?
Not for me, I don't think.
All right. So Jason,
Guys,
it's
guys, banner questions over here.
oh, we can talk banner. I'll talk banner all day
Yeah,
long.
banner. That's there behind me.
Yeah, because what he's referring to, everybody, is that he has just this banner of all of his contributions. Okay, so since you wanted, I'm going to give it to you. Your song on "To Be a Master," Viridian City,
Yeah.
was so beloved to my generation. It actually got a kid in trouble at my high school. They were they were throwing Pokeballs around the math class, right? And the teacher's like, get out of here, right? And the kid's getting, led out by the campus supervisor. And one of his friends is coming back from the bathroom and doesn't know what's happened. He didn't see the Pokemon battle in the middle of geometry. And he goes like, "Hey Todd, where you going?" And he kind of takes a pause and he looks at the class and he's like, "I'm on the road to Viridian City." And it was just like,
Oh my
so
God.
after all those years to get to talk to you, the voice behind so many of my favorite songs, it's wild.
On the road to the big city,
On the road.
on the way, throwing balls in my mouth. Teacher stops me, that's what I say.
Oh my, that was a Jason Paige original. This world exclusive old switcheroo. Oh my God. Jason, look at I'm smiling so hard my cheeks freaking hurt, man. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Sure.
Before the voice of a generation gets on out of here, do you have anything else you'd like to tell our listeners about upcoming performances you have on the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, all the information of my live appearances is going to be on my website under the See Me Live. I'm headed to Europe this week, going to the UK and the Netherlands, and lots of other events throughout the rest of the year. The mysterypack.com is going to be happening. That's releasing soon, and that's where all of this stuff can be found. It'll also be on my website, directing everybody there. And I'll be at the Collecticons this year up until August, and up until about September, October. And yearly Beatles Gospel Nativity in Christmas called both the Beatles Gospel Nativity. That happens all the time. And all the good stuff is on my socials. As it becomes live, I'm announcing it, as I will this interview as well, to let everybody
Excellent.
know.
Absolutely. Yes. You can follow all of his socials for more updates on the upcoming release of Jason Paige, Voice of a Generation, the game. And as he said, www.mysterypack.com. You can spell pack either way, but PAK. The real ones know it's
Yeah, yeah.
PAK.com. And that's where you're going to be able to order the game once it's live. So definitely going to be picking up my copy here. And just thank you so much for sharing your light with us, your passion, your creativity. It's been excellent. Everyone, join us next time when Mike and I will be busting aliens and I return to the Nintendo Switch Online catalog with Alien Storm for the Sega Genesis. And until next time, please remember to like, follow, or subscribe to the Old Switch A-Roo and rate or review the show wherever you get your podcasts. You can also visit www.theoldswitcharoo.com to find all our social media links. We'd love to hear what you thought of this episode and what you're hoping to hear in future episodes. As always, thank you for listening to the Old Switcheroo. We've been talking gaming, kind of retro, with Jason, Mike, and JMO.
I've been Mike.
He's been Jason, and I've been JMO.
And I've been Jason Paige, the OG voice of a generation.
Dream come true. Game on, everyone.